Hey booktubers! So I'm here today with my very first book haul of 2012, and I know in my very first book haul video I said that I probably wouldn't be doing these very often. But what can I say? I have a sickness, and the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. And incidentally, I will probably be back in a couple weeks with another haul video because what with all of the craziness of Christmas and the sales and the coupons I was able to find, I put in 2 more online orders, one through Booksamillion and one through Barnes & Noble. And I have always said that I was never going to spend any money with Barnes & Noble because I don't like their store. I think they're far too expensive. But as some of you probably know, they had this amazing after Christmas sale where a lot of stuff was like 90% off. So I think I ordered something like 11 books through them, and it cost me $25. So I couldn't pass that up. And plus I have a couple of other things that are supposed to be coming in the mail, so I'm probably going to wait until I have everything so I can put it all in one video. But today I have 12 books to show you, and then 2 books that I just got on my Kindle that I wanted to mention. And we'll do the Kindle ones first, and as I'm waiting to get the covers up, I don't know if you guys would like me to do a separate video showing you what I have on my Kindle. I know other booktubers have done it, so if you want me to do one, leave me a comment in the doobly-doo and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, last week I went to the Booksamillion store looking for one specific book, which they ended up not having. But while I was there, I looked around and I found these 2 books that really interested me. And this is the first one, which they only had in hardcover, and I didn't want to pay $20 for a book that I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. So this is called Death Watch by Ari Burke, and this is a story of about a boy whose father everybody thinks is a mortician, but it turns out his father sees dead people, literally. He's able to communicate with dead people. And one day the father goes missing, and the son starts to discover all of his father's secrets. And I was flipping through this book, and oh my god, it looked unbelievably amazing. And I looked up some of the reviews on Goodreads and Amazon, and everybody seems to love it, and I'm just so excited to read this book. So that's the first one, and then you have to bear with me because my Kindle is moving really, really slowly. I'm not sure why. I think I might have to reboot it or something. And this is the other book that I was looking at while I was in Booksamillion. It's called The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey, and I have to say I really prefer the paperback cover to this one. I don't really like this cover, but can't really do anything about it. And this is about a secret society of scientists who study monsters, and this is more of a horror type book, and I've heard that there are some pretty gory parts in it, but I love horror books, so it shouldn't be a problem for me. But I just wanted to mention that in case you guys want to pick it up, just to keep that in mind. So I'm excited to read that one too. Now this book, I think I paid something like $2 for it at a bookstore closing sale, and I've heard very, very, very mixed reviews. But for $2, I thought I would give it a try. And it is Angelology by Danielle Trussoni. And I fell in love with the cover. The cover is gorgeous. I love angels and books about angels, anything to do with angels. And from what I can gather from the back of the book, it is about a nun who starts studying about the history of angels and demons, and yeah, so I'll let you guys know what I think of it when I'm actually able to read this. Okay, and this next book I bought because they just made a movie out of it, and I really want to see it, and I usually always try to read the book before I see the movie. It is The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick, and I love that the entire book has art on it. Oh, and then you open it up, and it's just a black book. And this book is enormous, as you can see, but as you might know, his books are told both in words and in illustrations. So you know, some of the illustrations. The illustrations are absolutely just amazing. Oh my lord. Look at that. Ugh. And this is a book about Hugo, who lives in a train station, and he fixes, he takes care of the clocks in this train station. And he meets this little girl, and yeah, it sounds really cool. I can't wait to read that one. So I also ended up getting his other book, or one of his other books, Wonderstruck. And this, again, is another book that's huge, but this is the story of a boy named Ben and a girl named Rose. Is it Rose or Ruby? No, Rose. And it's two separate stories that end up converging towards the end of the book. And again, it's told through words and pictures. And I love the fact that the actual book is illustrated. And again, these illustrations are just to die for. Oh my god. Yeah, I could probably sit here and just show you all of these for the entire video. But yeah. So, even though they're huge, I'm sure it's not going to take me that long to read them. Okay. So, when I went to Booksamillion last week, and I was disappointed they didn't have the book that I was looking for, I was able to pick up one book. And it was in the bargain section, and it's a book that I've wanted to read for a while, and it is Generation Dead by Daniel Waters. I believe it was $4. I took the sticker off because you know me and stickers. I don't like them at all. So, yeah. And it's in pretty good shape. It just has the black mark on the bottom, but otherwise it's good. It's about these teenagers who die, but they don't stay dead. They sort of have to find a way to make their way back into society, and they end up going back to school and stuff. And yeah, so I think I ordered the second book in this series too, because it was on sale. So another book that I hope to get to fairly soon in 2012. I got Lament by Maggie Stiefvater. That's the back. And it says, "Don't you know what happens to clover hands who cannot control the fae?" And this is her Irish Fairy series, and it says the Fairy Queen's Deception on the bottom. And as some of you probably know, I'm not the biggest fan of fairy stories, but it's Maggie Stiefvater, and I'm sure I will love it. So I'm pretty much convinced that anything that she writes, I will love. So I got that. That's the first in the 2-book series. So of course, I got the second book in the series, which is called Ballad. It's actually sort of a companion book, from what I understand. Sort of, it's the same, pretty much the same story, but told from a different perspective. And the back, it says, "Remember us, so sing the dead, lest we remember you." So, I think this is so pretty. I love the colors. Yeah. And then the other book, The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater, and another book that I've heard mixed reviews on, but I'm still really excited to read it. Yeah. And it says on the back, "It is the first day of November, and so today someone will die." I'm sure once I read it, I will do reviews for them. Okay, and these next 3 books is a series. They had all of them in the bargain section, so I couldn't pass them up. And I've heard really amazing things about them. And this is The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. The Awakening. And The Reckoning by Kelly Armstrong. And again, kind of like what happened when I got the Wolves of Mercy Falls series. I got the first 2 in paperback and then the third one in hardback, but what are you going to do? Like I said, they were all discounted, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, I think I mentioned in a video last week that when I placed my order through Booksamillion, there seemed to be a big, huge confusion because one of the books I ordered dropped out of my order, and I had to call customer service, and they ended up having to send it separately. And this is the book that mysteriously vanished from my order. And it's a book that I've been dying to read for a very long time. It's A Certain Slant of Light by Laura Whitcomb. Yeah. And I actually almost got a book called Envy. I don't remember who it's by, but it had a very similar looking cover. But I heard that book wasn't the greatest, so I'm glad I was able to get the one that I was looking for. This is the back. It's very shiny. It's kind of hard to read the print, that you probably can tell on here. It's like really difficult. It says at the very top, "Someone was looking at me, a disturbing sensation if you're dead." Yeah, so it's kind of a little book. It's really small. It's smaller than I was anticipating. It's only 282 pages. But yeah, so I've been so anxious to get my hands on a copy of this book for months. So I'm glad that I finally remembered to actually look for it when I was placing an order. So yeah, okay. And then the last book, I got it because they had it for $1.97 in their bargain section. And this is another author. I've heard so many amazing things about her, but I've never read anything, so I thought I would just pick a book, and this is the first one that came up in the bargain section with her name on it. And it is Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen. I've actually seen a different cover for this book, but this is the one that Booksamillion had in their bargain section. And it's a big book! I thought it was going to be a little teeny tiny book. It's actually almost, let's see, 423 pages. Wow. So it's a contemporary YA book, and I haven't really read that many contemporary YA books. In fact, I pretty much think that Lola and the Boy Next Door was the only contemporary YA book that I've read the past year, which I have to do a review of that book, by the way. But yeah, so, and one other thing before I go, I wanted to show you this bookmark that I got. Yeah, I'm reading forever and forcing myself to continue reading it because it's like breaking my heart. I don't want the series to end, and I think I mentioned the other day that I stopped reading it because I didn't want to face the end of the series. But I'm reading it again, so yeah. And this is the bookmark that I got. And it says, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss it, you will land among the stars." Yeah, so it's really cool. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I tried to keep this as short as possible because I know the last few videos I made were kind of long and rambling. But yeah, and I can't stress this enough to you people. I'm always looking for book recommendations. Book recommendations, books you want me to do reviews of, anything like that. Please, please, please let me know what you think. I'm still a relative newbie to this whole thing, and I'm always looking for suggestions and feedback from you guys. And I'm so appreciative of everybody who takes the time to watch my videos. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. And as always, happy reading, guys. Happy New Year.